All right, now, everybody, we're going to start a show. Now, some of you people have been with me before. You know it's going to be a tough grind. You're going to dance until your feet fall off. You're not able to stand up any longer, but we're going to have a show.
So you want that vapor blasted finish, but you don't have $10,000 to fork out to get a commercial cabinet. Neither did I. So let me show you what I've done. Behind me, I've got an Eastwood modular benchtop cabinet. I mounted it on top of an old workbench and cut it up into pieces, replumbed it, added some pumps, some hoses, different gun, and let me show you what I did. Here's a sample of that vapor blasted finish using Potter's number 11 glass bead, or also known as glass mesh. So that's really important. And I used the prime pads to buff these bolts here, get them nice and clean. These are parts from my YZ125 project. So here's the cabinet. As you get one of these cabinets from Eastwood, it obviously doesn't have a hole in the bottom of it or this plumbing piece. So what I've done is cut out the bottom of the cabinet and added all that stuff in. So there's where it drains down into my bucket. Here's a Jukebox blast gun. You can get these on Amazon. They're about 25 bucks. When you get it, you've got to take out this set screw here, pop out this top, what is that, a fitting there? And there's an O-ring you got to place inside of here. Otherwise, it's just gonna shoot the media backwards out of the gun. So here's what they look like when you get them from Amazon. I don't have this one to take apart. Oh yeah, it'll slide out easy. So, looks like this one actually doesn't have an O-ring groove on it. That's odd. So, I haven't tried to hook up this gun to see if it'll blast or not, but that's something you may run into when you order from Amazon to get one of these guns. I hadn't done this research until I actually just started making this video right now. So this gun has got a groove on this piece here where I placed an O-ring. I haven't tried to hook this one up to see if it will spray backwards when you blast, but I'd imagine it will. Either way though, you could probably no, I don't know. Yeah, you need to get the insert piece that will work properly with this. So, start with the gun, we'll work our way backwards to the pumps. So I've just got some standard hoses here. This is just a water hose, it's not even a compressor hose. There's no pressure in this line other than coming from the sump pump. This is the air hose, running a dual stage compressor, which is very important for maintaining a steady high volume and high pressure. That's key for blasting. If you don't have high volume and high pressure, you're going to need to wait for your compressor to cycle till you get back to your maximum pressure, blast for a little while, and then take a break and just let that thing circulate and charge back up, because you can't really blast well without high pressure. So there was originally, I believe, this hole in the cabinet. I don't know, but I added a hole to the side of the cabinet here. You can get some rubber grommets from Harbor Freight. They have all those supplies on hand. They also have the O-rings that you'll need to seal up the gun if you need to. Well, of course you're gonna need to. So the other thing that you'll see in vapor blast cabinets, they usually have a wiper mechanism. I do not have a wiper mechanism. I don't know. I just didn't feel like building one. Just the honesty of it. I'm kind of lazy, and I figured I could get by doing this. Okay, so here's my hand inside. I got water sprayers that spray the window like that, and I just kind of go like that. And if you get a good technique when you're vapor blasting, you won't have a lot of the media splashing back at your window, so you won't have a lot of problems. But that's how I do it. It works out pretty good. The other thing is, since this cabinet was designed for sandblasting, it has these shield covers that go over the glass. This is like a plastic film. I just simply duct taped it. So nothing fancy there. And my sprayers are come from a local gardening store. They're for hydroponic gardening. So these are little water misters, but you're probably better off to do a wiper system. But yeah, this is just a water hose with misters and a pump. So below the cabinet, I've got this pump feeds to clean my window, and whenever I clean the window, it adds a little bit of water into the system. So down in here, I've got the the better pump from Harbor Freight, the better sump pump. I ran, that rubber hose there actually came from AutoZone. I've got a check valve on the pump so that the water doesn't flow backwards, so that the solution stays in the hose and stays primed in the gun. So we come out of the sump pump and run over here to a T-fitting. See, this T-fitting circulates back into the main reservoir, and what that does is agitate the solution in the bottom of the bucket, because your glass media is going to settle into the bottom. You're going to need to stir that up, so we run a good volume of the pressure off of the sump pump, goes right back into the bucket just for agitation. The additional goes into the cabinet, so let's trace it. So here's coming out of the pump, back into the for agitation, and this goes into our cabinet. So it comes around here and goes right in through the side alongside our air hose. So pretty simple. And then my air hose setup is right here. I've got a inline pressure valve, pressure regulator here. So I can just screw this in if I want to go real low pressure. I basically run it all the way wide open and a wide open air line. So when I hook this up, there's no foot pedal, there's no adjustment. Once I put the air in here, I have got air coming through here, and it actually will start to siphon solution right out of the bottom. So it'll start blasting a vapor without even having the sump pump on. My controls are operated down here. So I've got one tap pedal. When I tap this pedal, it sprays out of the nozzles up here for cleaning my window. So just one quick tap of that will clear off my window. And this is the on-off for the pump here. And hey man, check out my fancy Crocs. Dude, I am clogging it today. I didn't even think about that when I'm making this video. I'm like, man, no one's gonna look at my feet. But here's my Crocs. I'm a total dork. So I gotta run my dog to the vet today, so I didn't really suit up and put my shoes on. I'm just trying to get a quickie of this done so you guys can see what's up. But obviously I'm kind of loose around the edges here. Look at my wires, everything going all over the place. I need to clean this up a bit. But hey, it's all about proof of concept. I've been toying with this over the last year to try and figure out how to get it done. So that's what we're doing. And something else we're going to talk about today. I've got a cylinder that we just finished up from US Chrome. Let's take a look at the finish on this bad boy. Yeah, it's looking beautiful. So US Chrome does a lovely job of doing the Nicosil. And we're going to put a little finishing touch on it to give it that vapor blasted finish. So you can see the sandblast finish there. And let's pause for a second while I set up, and then we'll see if we can get a video of this thing getting the blast. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to hook up the air hose. I'm going to turn on the water. Spray the window real quick. Think we got it pretty good. Let's check it out.
Look at those vapors.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks great. Need to dip it in a bucket of water. Oh yeah. Nothing like a bucket of water in the winter. Just clean. Super clean. Alright, I'm going to dry it off and sit it next to a sandblasted cylinder so you can take a look at the comparison. Alright, there's your sandblast finish. There's your vapor blast finish. Any questions? That smudge right there is just where it's still a little wet from me trying to dry it off. So yeah, nice shiny finish here. Dull finish here. Alright, the rest of the video you can watch me put it together. See how I constructed this beast. Alright, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.